Hello. Just make sure I'm live in the right place. Yay, I am. How's everybody doing? Happy full moon. Full moon in Gemini, I think. Okay. So this is our collective full moon tarot reading. And just going to give it a second for people to come and join us. So, welcome to this portal of energy that we create together twice a month on the full moon and the new moon, and sometimes in between when I have extra time. So the current full moon phase is a time of when the moon is illuminated. We can see everything, right? So it's a time of great clarity. It's a time of being able to see what's really happening. This is where we start to begin to see through illusions this week. And this is just a mini cycle, the moon cycle, inside of a grand cycle, this larger cycle. And please share this message if you'd like to share this message with someone. I will upload it to YouTube after and pop a link in the comments for you guys if you'd like to share it with someone. Or if you'd like to invite someone to the group, a female family member, cousins, friends that you think might benefit from these messages, these activations that we do twice a month, or some of the other content that we put in the group. Thursdays, we have our live at 4 p.m. where we talk about witchcraft, we talk about natural magic, we talk about manifestation, and we talk about all things personal evolution and spiritual evolution for women. So I just want to thank the one energy that flows through everything. Thank myself. Thank you, every one of you who are here, lending your energy to this portal today. And thank you for this message in advance. And so the focus of this week, which can be the challenge, and also the opportunity. The focus of the week is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is community. It's a community card. It's a one big happy family. And so this is harmony in relationships. It's soulmates. It's love. It's divine connection. It's hearts opened wide. It's wholeness and expansion. But the shadow side of the Ten of Cups is disharmony or fights and disputes. It's communication, miscommunication, struggling in relationships, having unrealistic expectations of people, and it's also feeling not worthy of love. And so this card has the powerful energy of connected hearts, gaining love, devoted acceptance, and it's often seen as a giant yes for relationships and for love. So if what you're asking is for some assistance with relationships and love, the answer is yes. And it depicts your fairy style ending. So this is you getting to choose your happily ever after. You get to choose what that looks like. Allow your heart's expansive energy to pour into all of your connections this week, including those within your community. In shadow, or in times of struggle, or when obstacles come up this week. And so for some people it may, and for some people it might not. In a struggle, remembering that we need to look at how we feel about ourselves within a relationship. So how do you feel about yourself? Are you confident? Do you love yourself? Are you loving yourself wholly? Are we unsure? Are we being unpredictable? Are we being too dependent on another, right? If you're looking for a white picket fence or this happily ever after, that we have to remember that in order to find this happiness, we have to remember that our joy only comes from the inside. Our joy does not come from other or from outside of self. So by waiting for other people or better things to come along, we have to remember that we have to create our happiness for ourselves, and that we are undermining our own power to create feelings of love when we look for love outside of ourselves. And so we want to make sure that we're bringing gratitude and generosity to our everyday life. Focusing on others and gifting them the gift of our energy and our time and our kindness and our service is how we can love ourselves. If you want to help yourself, look at how you can help other. Whenever we are struggling and we need help, the first thing that we should do is to ask how we can help another person, right? And so this is a time of clarity, and it's a time of harmony. We're realizing that the next stage of our emotional fulfillment will involve sharing happiness with the people around us and helping the people around us that we love to be happy as well. And so we're recognizing that our vision of a fulfilled life is incomplete without the well-being of the people that we love included in that. And so we should be, we're noticing now how our current experiences are offering all that our heart desires, or how it's offering us a chance to begin to understand what our hearts desire. And if you're currently manifesting your dreams, or if you're currently trying to figure out what it is that you'd like to manifest in your life, you are coming closer to that vision of what that is, and you are coming closer to realizing that manifestation in your life. And so whatever that is that you've been working on, it's close. And if you're not sure what it is, then you're even closer to that clarity right now. And in this moment, I would love to offer anyone who listens to this message to book a clarity session with me. It's a free session. We talk for about an hour. It's a coaching session where I can either help you to decide on what that vision is and decide on what your heart's desire really is, or if you know what your heart's desire is and you know what you're working towards, help you to find a clear path to get there, the path of least resistance. And so I'm offering sessions for free this week. So please reach out to me if you would like to jump on one of those sessions. Yeah, we'll see if we can't get some clarity for you. All right, and so our archetype of the week is the world. The world is telling us that we are glowing with a sense of wholeness, that we are glowing with achievement, that we're feeling fulfillment and completion. If we aren't already there, then we're getting there. It is this completion of a long-term project or a period of study or a relationship or a career that has now come full circle. And we are now reveling in a sense of closure and accomplishment. This card could represent graduation, marriage, birth, or just achieving some long-term commitment, or a dream, or an aspiration. And so these cards go together very well once again. So we're doing the right thing. We are in the right place. We're achieving our visions. We feel whole and complete. Look to where you feel whole and complete this week in order to utilize this card as your ally. So the world is the archetypal ally for this week, right? And this is the knowingness. It's the understanding that we are whole already, and that it's not wholeness that we're looking towards. It's the feeling of wholeness that we need to find within of ourselves already. So this card invites us to reflect on our journey, to honor our achievements, make sure we're celebrating those wins, and to tune into our own spiritual lessons, to celebrate our successes, to bask in the joy of having brought goals to fruition. And if you haven't brought a goal to fruition in the most, recent times, Think about where you were this time last year and all that you've accomplished between then and now. All the triumphs and the tribulations that you have crossed on your path have created and harvested the life that you have now. And make sure that you're not rushing into the next big project. This is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. It's a pause. This is a place to pause and to make sure that we're celebrating our journey, and that will set us up for success when we're ready to step into our next challenge. And so if you haven't quite reached this point of completion, then you're very close to that, and you may still need an added level of understanding to graduate to a higher level and to really enjoy the feeling of success. So looking back at past experiences and acknowledging how far you came, and what you've learned along the way. It may surprise you to look back at your progress and see how much you've achieved and how far you've come. This reflection may also be what you need to bring your project to its final stages, what you need to complete a cycle. And so if loose ends are still a thing, if they still remain, the world card is asking us to bring them to completion. So we will clear the space for the new beginnings and for new opportunities to emerge. More literally, the world can mean world travel. It would be particularly on a large scale. So it would be like traveling someplace really far. You might be lucky enough to be going on this big trip, or working or studying or living overseas for an extended period of time. So this card reinforces the universal understanding of global awareness. And you'll find a new appreciation for people and cultures from across the world. And so even if you aren't doing any big traveling, but you are feeling like paying attention to, if you feel like you have a global mindset, and if you feel like you would like to connect with cultures on the other side of the planet, this is a card that's inviting you to dive into another culture and another society and another way of life and learning. All the different ways that people live on this planet, and all of the different perspectives there are to live from, all of the different belief systems, all of the different rituals, and all of the different celebration styles and ways in which we can borrow, not appropriate, but borrow from others. This is a good reminder that when we are struggling, we are usually just looking at the situation from a place or a position that doesn't benefit us. And so this is a good time to remind ourselves that if we are in struggle, then it's a good idea for us to look at how others how other people see it from their perspective, and maybe we can adopt their way or someone's way of viewing the situation that we're in, so that we can then overcome our obstacles. Because really, all of our obstacles in life are really just a lack of proper perspective. And so this week is a good time, if we're struggling with anything, for us to ask other people how they view it. Ask your friends online. I'm sure you have friends online from all over the world. Message some of your friends online and ask them, how do you view this situation? How would you handle this situation? Have you ever been in this situation before? What did you learn from it? And then seeing if you can't shift your perspective, just so that you're looking at the obstacle or the issue from another perspective, because we can't solve problems with the same thinking that got us into the problem, right? And so this is a good way for us to shift our perspective, and so that we can see the solutions, so that we can start to begin to think on a path, on a wavelength that will lead us to a solution, and not just keep leading us around in circles back to running into the same walls. So Thursday at 4 p.m. We're doing the Wake the Witch like we do every week. This week, the idea of spiritual awakenings has come up in my conversations with people, in my sessions with people, and I've seen it in conversations that other people are having online. And I was talking to Michael, my partner, about that, and he had, a few years ago, a spontaneous spiritual awakening. And I was just talking to another client of mine recently, and I was saying that my spiritual awakening was really just getting sober, and it was moments of awakening over many years, and then getting sober really helped me to step into that clarity, and to embrace it and to be comfortable with it. But there are people who have a spiritual awakening in a very different way, where they don't do drugs, or they don't get sober all of a sudden, and it's not like brought on by anything specific that they can think of. It's just that they have this experience of oneness that seems to come out of the blue. And then they have a really hard time relating to the people around them, and they have a really hard time understanding what's happening within themselves. And people who are not on that wavelength and who have never experienced that have no idea how to handle it. And so they tell them they're crazy, and they make you feel like you're crazy. And I think that this is something that we should be talking about more, because especially in this day and age, and especially the people that are drawn to this kind of work, you may have already experienced or may end up experiencing something like this in your life sometime soon. And so I think it's a good idea for us to find out how that feels, what it's like, and what to do, right? What can we do to fulfill ourselves, to understand this better, to be able to communicate with our friends and family better while something like this is going on? What kind of support do we need? Things like this. And so Michael is going to let me interview him, and he's going to tell his story of his sudden spiritual awakening, his sudden out of the blue mystical experience, and what that was like for him in the weeks following that, and how he got through it, and how he was able to find the help that he needed, and give you guys some suggestions for where to look for help, and how he dealt with it, but also at the same time for what to expect in the weeks coming after that, because our highest highs are only there because we reach our lowest lows. And people talk about enlightenment being something that you achieve and then that's the end, but that's not the way it is unless you're sitting on a mountain in the Himalayas meditating for 24 hours a day. In the real world, we have that high where we feel enlightened and one and connected, and then we fall back out of it. And so this is also how to deal with that as well. Okay, my computer's dying. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will be here Thursday at 4 o'clock for that. And in the meantime, if anyone would like to either have a personal reading or have a session, just a discussion, where you could grab some help, pick my brain on ways to achieve clarity, or what your next steps in your spiritual journey, your personal evolution journey would be, feel free to just message me the word clarity and we'll set up a call, okay? Here to serve you. So please, if you are struggling with something, if you're needing help figuring something out, please reach out. I really enjoy this work. It's not taking up my time. It's what I enjoy doing, and it's what I'm here for. Okay, so I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.